Hi, it's Melanie. So, when I was in nutrition school, we had a class called Redefining Nutrition, and I've been thinking a little bit about one of the exercises that we did at the beginning of that class, and I wanted to share a little bit about it with you now. So, this was several years ago, but we had an exercise where the instructor wrote a whole bunch of different foods on the board, like apple and bread and just like anything, just a whole lot of foods. And then we went through each one and he asked us to come up with reasons why that food was bad. And honestly, people kind of struggled at the beginning. I think people were saying, well, no, apples are good because of all these things. Like, why would an apple be bad? And he actually had to come up with a reason because we couldn't. But he was saying in certain traditions, raw apples aren't supposed to be as good for you as, say, cooked apples. And you can actually think about a lot of different foods that fall into different categories that may not be what you think of initially as what makes a food good or bad. So, for example, I've had clients who can't eat cucumbers because the seeds bother them intestinally. So they have to only eat peeled and seeded cucumbers, or they can't eat celery because celery is too fibrous for their digestive system. So things that you would think are healthy foods, it really depends what your definition of healthy is. So when people ask me like what foods are good, I've said this before, it's not about the food. It's about how the food interacts with you. So everything is individualized, and you have to really know what's happening in your body and what your body needs to be able to define whether or not a food is good. So I wanted to put that out there today. I see a lot of questions coming up in my practice about, I have this condition, so here's the diet for my condition. So I should be able to eat all these things, except that doesn't actually work in practice and in real life, because you're not just your condition, you're not just your diagnosis. If you have one diagnosis, that doesn't mean that's the only thing going on in your body. So we always have to look at ourselves, as complex beings that have a lot of requirements, and you really can't just overlay one specific protocol or one idea of what good food is. That doesn't work for everybody. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to hear your ideas on what constitutes a good food. I keep quoting that because I hate that idea that foods are either good or bad. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.